I want to share a chilling experience that happened to me while using a ride-sharing service. A while back, I requested an Uber to take me home after a night out with friends. Little did I know that this ride would turn into a nightmare. As the Uber arrived, I checked the license plate and the driver's photo to make sure it was the right car. Everything matched, so I got in the back seat. The driver seemed friendly at first, asking how my night was and making small talk. But as we got further from my friend's place, things started to take a dark turn. The driver began driving in a direction that was completely opposite to my home. I asked him why we were going in that direction, and he mumbled something about a shortcut and avoiding traffic. I immediately felt uneasy, as the route he was taking was unfamiliar and not the way to my house at all. My heart started racing, and I began to panic. I pretended to talk on the phone with a friend, loudly mentioning our location and the driver's name in hopes that he would realize I was taking precautions. I also texted my location and the driver's details to my friend, just in case things escalated. I finally mustered the courage to tell the driver to turn around and take me back to where he had picked me up. He seemed agitated and started making excuses about the GPS malfunctioning. At this point, I was convinced that something was seriously wrong. As we approached a busy intersection, I saw an opportunity and shouted for him to stop the car. I flung the door open and jumped out, not caring about the traffic or the stares from people on the street. I was terrified for my life and knew I needed to escape that car. Thankfully, I managed to get out unharmed and immediately called 911 to report the incident. The police arrived quickly, and I provided them with all the information I had about the driver and the car. It turned out that the driver wasn't the person registered with Uber. Someone else had used their account to pick me up. The police launched an investigation, and I learned that this wasn't an isolated incident. Other people had reported similar experiences with fake Uber drivers attempting to abduct passengers. The story spread in the local news, and it served as a warning for everyone to be cautious when using ride-sharing services. This experience left me traumatized, but it also made me realize the importance of staying alert and taking safety precautions, even in situations that seem routine. Always verify the driver's details, check the license plate, and share your ride details with someone you trust. Trust your gut instincts. If something doesn't feel right, don't hesitate to take action to protect yourself. I'd like to share a truly terrifying experience I had while using a rideshare service as a cautionary tale for others. It was late at night, and I had just finished a long day of work. Exhausted and eager to get home, I requested an Uber to take me back. What followed was a series of events that left me shaken to my core. The car that arrived matched the description in the app, so I got in without thinking twice. The driver seemed polite, and the ride started off uneventfully. But as we got further from the city center, my instincts started to kick in. I noticed that the driver wasn't following the usual route to my neighborhood, and I mentioned it to him. He gave me a vague response about traffic and assured me that he had a shortcut. As minutes turned into what felt like an eternity, I began to panic. My phone's GPS was open, and I could see that we were heading away from my home. I tried to call a friend to let them know what was happening, but my phone signal was weak. The driver's demeanor had changed. He grew visibly more tense, and his responses to my questions became evasive. At one point, he turned off onto a deserted side street, and my heart raced. My gut told me that something was seriously wrong. Adrenaline pumping, I seized the moment when we slowed down and flung the car door open. Without thinking, I jumped out and started yelling for help, frantically waving down passing cars. A couple who happened to be walking nearby heard my cries and rushed to my aid. The driver sped away, leaving me shaken but safe. They called the police while I recounted what had just transpired. The officers arrived quickly and took my statement, assuring me they would investigate the incident. What I learned later was chilling. The license plate on the car I had entered didn't match the information on the app. It turned out that someone had been impersonating a rideshare driver, and I had narrowly escaped a potentially dangerous situation. This experience was a wake-up call, reminding me that vigilance is crucial when using any kind of ride service. Always double-check the license plate and driver details, and never hesitate to share your ride information with a friend or family member. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, don't dismiss it. Your safety should always be the top priority. For more content like this, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.